about the pursuit of happiness? You know what makes a lot of people really, really happy? Money. What he was really talking about when he talked about pursuit of happiness, he was talking about money. And what he was saying is, the king of England, keeps taking our money. And if the king of England keeps taking our money, he takes away our ability to pursue the things that make us happy. Because if I don't have any money, can I go do the things that I like to go do? Not really. Right? I got to have money to do the things that I like to do. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So just really briefly, right? So the Declaration of Independence sets up this idea, right, that we have these rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Yes? Okay. Put it off. Is it? All right. All right. So the Virginia Declaration of Rights. Oh man, George Mason. Is there a quality university named after this person? Is there?
Yeah. There is a university called George Mason University.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where I go.
I understand that is a quality university.
It is. It's going to make me some money.
I understand that some of the best teachers in Fairfax County went to George Mason University.
Oh, do you know any of them?
And my art class,
Miss Albert as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
And Miss LaMonica.
And
Miss LaMonica.
And Miss LaMonica. And Miss LaMonica, too.
Yep. Okay. All right. So the Virginia Declaration of Rights. It was written by George Mason. That's who this is. Yes. Okay. It was written by George Mason in 1776. Okay. Right. And he said it guaranteed people. This is specifically, he's talking about the people of Virginia. Okay. He's specifically talking about the people of Virginia have rights. Okay. What George Mason said is, if you live in Virginia, you have rights. Okay? It's not up here, you don't need to remember this, but specifically, what George Mason said is, if you live in Virginia, you have the right to go to any church that you want to. Okay? George Mason said that's important. You should be able to go to any church that you want to. Okay, so we said that there's no Church of the United States, right?
Yes.
Is there a Church of Virginia?
No.
Is there a Church of Virginia?
Yeah.
There is?
No.
No, there's no Church of Virginia. Because George Mason said you have the right to go to whatever church you want to.
Whatever place of worship. Whatever mosque, whatever.
Or to not go to any of them. Do you have to belong to a church? Do you have to belong to a mosque? Do you have to belong to a synagogue? No. Right? So you can go to whatever church you want to, or to go to no church at all. Yes? Okay. That was one of the rights that George Mason said, right? Okay. This influenced the Bill of Rights. This influenced the Bill of Rights. That's where we're going to go eventually, right? We're going to talk about the Bill of Rights. Okay. So some of the things that George Mason wrote, religion is just one of them, right? Later go into the Bill of Rights. Okay? When James Madison was writing the Bill of Rights, one of the things that he clearly read was the Virginia Declaration of Rights, and he said, you know what, those ideas that George Mason had, those were good ideas. That idea that people should be able to go to any church that they want. That's a good idea. I like that. Yes?
Yes.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Yes.
Okay. The other big one that we're going to talk about. Is everybody good here? Everybody got this on their
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay. Is we're going to come back and talk about Thomas Jefferson again.
Who is me?
Talk about Thomas Jefferson again. Okay. Thomas Jefferson was he's a Virginian. He was from Virginia. Yeah. He also wrote this document called the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedoms. Okay? He wrote this document called the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedoms.
He's also up there on the wall. I can't see it. Hold on.
There we go.
Oh yeah, we have two lasers. Double laser.
Double
Ding,
laser.
ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding,
yeah,
ding,
yeah.
So who are all these guys? What are their jobs?
The president.
They're presidents, right? So what president was Thomas Jefferson?
Thomas Jefferson was the third president. Yeah.
Third.
So Thomas Jefferson wrote this document called the Virginia Statute of Religious Freedoms. Okay. And also in 1776. 1776 was a pretty big year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it said that people had the freedom to choose their religion.
Yeah.
People had the freedom to choose their religion.
Yeah, I like it too.
And what Thomas Jefferson said was really important was that there be a separation of religion and government. What Thomas Jefferson said that there really needed to be this separation of religion and government. You know what that really means? You know what this really means? What this really is about is money. What this really, what? What does religion and government and money have to, what are we talking about? What? What does all this mean about money? What's this connection with money and religion? Can you figure it out?
Business. No.
Okay.
Kind of.
So remember we said in England, there is a Church of England, yes? Right? And if you lived in England, you had to go to the Church of England. You also had to give money to the Church of England in the form of taxes. You would pay taxes, and that tax money would pay for the buildings, it would pay for the churches, it would pay for the ministers, it would pay for, right, the people who conducted the services, yeah? Okay. And Thomas Jefferson said, wait a minute, what if I don't want to go to that church? What if I don't want to go to the same place that Mr. Harmon goes? Should I have to give money to Mr. Harmon's, not church, right, but should I have to give money to Mr. Harmon's synagogue?
No.
No. Should Mr. Harmon have to give money to my church?
No.
I'm
No.
not paying you to go to church.
And that's what Thomas Jefferson said, right? Thomas Jefferson said, you should not have to give your money to a religion that you're not a part of.